Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Kay and this is Kay Unscripted, and today we're getting into another episode of the Real Housewives of Atlanta season 16, and I think we're on episode 7. Before we get into all the juicy details of this recap, please go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel. I really want your support and thank you for being here today. So guys, let's get into it. The episode kicks off with Brittany and her man walking into a car dealership. Apparently, he promised her a new car every 2 years. Well, sis came to collect and she came to collect with the dramatics. Next thing you know, she's throwing up her legs in the car and she's saying, yeah, it's good enough room. And Mike just always looks like he's disassociated when he's around Britt. He's looking at her like, girl, what are you doing? And then he told her, put your damn leg down. You're doing too much. As always, she's doing the most. And I'm sitting here like, wait a minute. Weren't you the same one who was just saying how you've had so many bad days? You've been crying in bed, you can't get up, your reputation is hanging by a thread. Girl, you're doing too much. Meanwhile, Drew slides over at Angela's house and they step outside, and Drew casually brings up her cousin's alcohol brand. But Angela, baby, she came with the receipts. She goes, yeah, I called Marcus and he said y'all are not cousins. Drew now claims that she was just joking. Now, Drew, were you really joking? Because production did show us that you said it twice that he was your cousin. Now, all of a sudden, he's not your cousin. I'm so tired of Drew and her little jokes. Anyways, over at Kelly's place, she's invited a few of the ladies over, Cynthia, Porsha, and Shamia. She starts listing all the things she likes in a man, and y'all, I mean everything. I really thought that she and Mike would have still been married. When they broke up, it was really shocking to me because I thought, he was her person. But at this point, Cynthia, do you even know what you want? Then Porsha shows up, followed by Shamia, and Porsha's like, girl, what did you do to that dog? Y'all, it turns out that the dog had been stolen and just recently recovered on Craigslist. So to keep it from happening again, Kelly decided to dye her dog pink. So they're sitting down together and the girls get into the peace brunch drama. And Kelly's giving her version. She said that Drew and Angela walked in being Team Twirl. Britt was on the defense and it was giving the vibe so off from the beginning. Now, the way she explained it, it was a bit extra because I don't think they were Team Kenya. I think they did give Kenya a listening ear. And in fact, if I remember clearly, Drew did say that she didn't agree with what Kenya did. So, Kelly, the way you're giving the story is a bit off. You need to tell a story how it actually happened. So we cut back to Britt still pretending that she's buying that car, and her man brings up Angela, and Britt's like, I came to speak my truth, until Angela chimed in like, well, how is that possible? And that's because she first said that she lost her license, and remember, Angela was questioning her, asking her under what condition, right? But afterwards she said that she's under investigation. So we're all confused about what's really going on with Britt. And I'm just wondering, are you still going to carry on that little lie that the Kenya situation caused you to be under investigation? Because girl, the people have been saying that you've been lost your license. So make it make sense. Then she's like, well, what if I spilled some tea on Angela? Oh, I heard her husband had a baby on her. And then while she's in a confessional, production jumps in and they ask her, well, where did you hear that from? And Britt says, there has been whispers about Charles. Also, we whispering now? So then we're back with Drew and Angela. And let me tell you one thing about Drew. She's going to show up wherever there's food. Drew is always eating at somebody's home. Drew, do you even eat at your home, girl? Anyway, they're chatting about Britt, and Angela says that she expected Britt to come in being humble and just like, well, by the way, she texted me And y'all, she starts reading the text in Brit's voice. When I tell you, I started cracking the hell up. That was so funny. Drew says that she has another court date coming and they're trying to keep the records sealed, which I respect because she says that she wants to protect her children. Then Angela casually drops that Drew said Ralph was jealous of her relationship with Dennis. And I'm like, huh? That's the first time we're hearing that. But she claims that Dennis and Ralph even had a conversation and that she talked to Porsha. Now, girl, we know you didn't talk to Porsha, so let's just stop with the lies. I guess you're going to keep carrying it on that you did talk to Porsha. And honestly, I'm just tired of the Drew and Porsha of it all. Now, if Dennis and Ralph did have the conversation, are you saying that the little back and forth they had on social media was fake? Girl, I have questions too. Anyways, back at Kelly's place, Cynthia asks about Drew and Portia's friendship. Are they going to move on? And I'm just like, are y'all going to keep bringing that up? Because I'm tired. I am tired. But Portia's like, well, I don't care. But Cynthia, in her confessional, she says, oh, you care and you care a lot. And then Portia mentions that she has a birthday trip coming up and it's going to be in Nashville. She invited the whole crew except Drew. Y'all, please excuse my voice. I'm a little bit under the weather, but I had to get this recap out and I'm doing the best that I can. Meanwhile, over at Angela's place, she is inviting Drew to the trip. And I'm just like, Angela, you're so messy. Why are you being messy? First of all, you're the one who started the beef, the blow up, in fact, with Britt and Kenya. And now you're inviting Drew somewhere that she's not invited to. Why are you doing that? Now we got a three-way confessional moment between Drew, Porsha and Britt. So Drew's hoping that Porsha reaches out to her. She says the only way that she's going to come is if Porsha tells her directly that she wants her to be there. And Porsha's like, I'm done with Drew. She's a pathological liar. And Britt, she's saying that she just wants peace and she's looking forward to the trip. In between that conversation, we get a little montage moment. Kelly's teaching her daughter how to drive, and Angela's talking to her kids. Now, apparently, Angela had a nose job that came out a little too pinched. So sis tried to balance it out with Botox to puff it up back. Now, I don't know nothing about that, but her son already told us that she looks like Yoshi from from Mario Brothers. I died. I cracked up so much when he said that. It be your own kids. Then we get to sit down with Drew and Britt. Drew starts off saying, I'm glad you reached out. Girl, are you really glad? Because you just mocked her the other day with Angela. But okay, Miss Sidora, the actress, we see you. Britt's talking about how nobody cared about the way she felt. And at this point, I don't know what Britt wants from these ladies because they've said that they're sorry she had to go through it. They've rallied around her. So I don't know what else she's expecting. Drew tells Britt, well, she came in hot and she looked a little too happy that Kenya was gone. And that kind of rubbed her the wrong way. So Britt tells her, well, I'm an open book. You can ask me anything. So Miss Drew Sidora goes and asks the lady, well, did you ever sell it? And Britt's like, sell what? Drew says, the cat. Britt, Britt denies it, but Drew kept going and she's like, well, did you ever do pee? And the way Britt got so tongue-tied, she says she's never done that. But she did do webcam stuff with a female friend. They were naked, talking, no intercourse. Okay. Not my business, but you're telling us, so now it's kinda is, but it's not making much sense. So Drew asked if she made money from the webcam stuff. And Brit's dodging the question like it's a dodgeball. Girl, it's yes or no. You made the money, just own it. Like you said, you're not proud of what you did, but it is what it is. Then Britt hits Drew with, well, didn't you say at Shamia's house that you knew the recipient of the fellatio? And then we get a flashback of Drew saying that the guy who got it DM'd her. She's like, I might have known the guy on the poster board. So Britt's like, so you recognize his lower region? And then she's like, well, have you tasted it? And I'm just like, was it Ralph? Because how would you know? Y'all, Drew tries to backtrack and she's like, I was just joking. Now, Drew, why would you joke about something like that? I'm so tired of you and your old jokes. Your jokes don't make sense. And I'm just like, we know you have a history of not being able to tell the truth. So now you're trying to conceal the truth with saying that you're just joking. Anyways, I'm tired of it. Britt opens up and she says that she's been depressed and she asked Drew to put herself in her shoes. She says she's barely been able to get out of bed during that time. And Drew finally shows a little sympathy. She says she gets it because her name has been dragged in the blogs and she knows how it feels. And they both agree to move forward. So it's the day of court, and Ralph is filming himself leaving the house, all serious and all. And then we see Drew heading out too. She says that the longer this process drags on, the more toxic things gets between her and Ralph. She's trying to mediate, but Ralph, he wants war. And apparently there's a whole lot of things about Ralph that Drew doesn't want the public to know because she wants three things at this hearing. She wants Ralph's financials, she wants Ralph to move out of the house, and she wants the divorce records to remain sealed. So then a producer asks her, well, what's in the documents that you want sealed so much? And Drew says that there's more damaging stuff on his end than hers. Now, this time, y'all, Ralph actually showed up with a lawyer, and in fact, this is his third lawyer. But the judge decided to move forward with unsealing the documents, and additionally, he doesn't have to present his financials or move out of the house. As to why this happened, I'm not sure, but if he's paying for everything like he said, then that might have been the reason why. Now, hear me out. If there's something damaging about Ralph in those files, why is he grinning like he's on a press tour? He says, yes, he's messed up, but so has Drew. He doesn't want the world to know his business, but according to him, unsealing the records is what has to be done. No, Ralph, it doesn't. If you really care about protecting your children, like you say, maybe don't toss your entire marriage into the group chat of public opinion. I'm just saying, unless if you're really a narcissist like Drew has been saying, and you just want to boost your ego to damage her reputation as well, you want the records to be unsealed. But keep us out of it. Now, Drew, it might be time for you to get a new lawyer who can actually fight your case because Ralph came ready and his lawyer did not come to play either. Clearly, there's something in those documents Drew doesn't want the public to see, and that's her right. But I think it's also stuff about her and not just Ralph. That's my humble opinion. Anyway, it's the day of Porsha's birthday trip. The girls are headed to Nashville, and of course, Angela missed her flight. Kelly claims that Angela was late because she had to double back and grab her fan after hearing that there was a heat wave in Nashville. Kelly, Kelly has the jokes. Let me tell you, Kelly, her personality, I like it. I like Kelly. Anyways, the crew pulls up to a gorgeous Airbnb and it's giving country glam. They're greeted by some cowboys. There's food everywhere. The ladies start claiming their rooms, and in the true housewives fashion, someone's already annoyed about their room. That's just how it goes. But Porsha opens the basement door and she's calling for Drew. Now that was so funny. But anyways, they all sit down to eat and Kelly asked Porsha how she feels celebrating her birthday while going through a divorce. So Porsha says, I didn't even want a party, and she would usually spend her birthdays with her ex, but this year she just wanted to be surrounded by her girlfriends. So Cynthia chimes in and she's like, you can't take every girl on a trip. And she's not wrong. So the conversation shifts to how folks switch up on girls' trips. And Britt brings up Angela. She says Angela texted her all sweet, but she was shady at the peace brunch. So Angela finally arrives, and Britt is mid convo talking about how Angela texted her all friendly, but switched up in person. And then we see Angela walking in. Y'all, the timing was crazy. Let me tell you. She greets the group and she immediately knows that they were talking about her. Her energy's all, hey y'all, I had a long morning. But baby, that tension was thick as hell. So Portia's trying to get everyone into celebration mode. She's like, we need to turn up. And then Angela out of nowhere goes, oh, by the way, I'd like for Drew to come. Angela, what are you doing? Not you stirring the pot. What are you doing? She says she invited Drew because she feels like Drew should be there. But Angela, this is not your trip. You don't get to dictate who comes and who doesn't come. Now, in her confessional, Angela claims Porsha said she can coexist with Drew and that she wants to play mediator. Now, girl, if you really feel that way, why didn't you try to do that before the event? Why didn't you get them to talk before the trip? Why are you pulling ambushes at someone else's birthday celebration? If that was my birthday celebration, I wouldn't want anybody that I am not cool with to be there. I'm not going to invite you if you're not on talking terms. And if somebody decides that they will bring somebody that I'm not cool with, both of y'all have to leave. That's just me. So then Kelly and Britt spill that they saw Angela at the mall the other day, and Britt says Angela was dodging them, and Angela's like, no, I greeted y'all. But Britt says they hugged, and y'all, then she goes on and asks Angela, so was that real? And Angela's like, girl, I don't fake anything. If I show love, I mean it. Now, Britt, take your own words, read the damn room, not just the drama. Like, you cannot overanalyze every interaction. I don't know, but it has to be so exhausting for Brit's friends, or if she even has friends, because remember, she says she doesn't have friends. But I am just a viewer and I'm tired of her over exaggerating everything. Anyways, the ladies toast to Porsha's rodeo themed party and everyone's getting ready for the night. They check in with their spouses, and Angela is on the phone with Drew and she's like, girl, everything is cool over here. Come on through. Drew says that she's in a sensitive place because of court, and that is understandable, but also, why would you be coming on a trip that you're uninvited to if you're already in a soft spot? I get that she feels like the trip would help her. The trip is what she needs, but coming there is just going to cause more drama. I'm not going to go anywhere that I'm uninvited. I am not going. I'm going to find another way to relax. Have a spa day. Go with your sister because you're everywhere with your sister. So bring your sister somewhere. Do something. Not come to a place that you're not invited to. Girls are getting glammed up, and Kelly lets her stylist help Britt with her looks too. And that was such a sweet moment. Kelly is low-key the real MVP. I like her energy. She's really, really cool. Then we cut to the ladies pulling up with some of Porsha's other friends to kick off the celebration. And baby, it's a whole vibe. They're laughing, riding the mechanical bull. And shout out to Shamia because she held on the longest. Everybody was having a good old time. Meanwhile, over on the other side of town, Joey's at Dennis's bar and she's celebrating her record deal with her sister Allison. She's on the phone with Dennis and they're taking shots and whatnot. Back over at the party, someone casually asked where Drew is, and Portia's like, well, she wasn't invited. But then she throws in the side eye and says that somebody decided to let Drew crash my trip. Then Angela says, well, you were giving the vibe that it was cool. And Portia's like, no, you pressured me. And Angela's like, pressured? She's like, no, that sounds like bullying. Portia's over it and she's like, I've been gracious. I even gave this girl not one bed, but two beds. Portia. Now, girl, you know you were wrong for that. So, are you really saying that you were cool with Drew being there? If you're now saying that you gave her two beds, even if it was a bunk bed. But what are you saying? Because you didn't clear it up. Anyway, Angela's over there acting like she's the peace summit because she says, well, I thought this trip was about putting our differences aside. Miss Girl, when exactly did you get that memo? Because last we checked, this is Portia's trip. It's for her birthday. This is not a group therapy retreat, right? Angela keeps pushing it. She's saying that it's the perfect opportunity to lay it all out on the table. And everyone else is confused and they're like, girl, no. Like, what are you doing? So Portia is trying really, really hard to stay calm, but then she finally snaps and she hits Angela with the line of the night. She tells Angela, well, what kind of glue is on that wig? Because clearly you're not understanding. And just when you thought the drama couldn't get any messier, one of Portia's friends says that Drew allegedly gave Dennis a little oral action. Child, what the hell? What is going on? That's crazy. That's crazy to me. But Portia's like, well, I don't know if anything happened between them. And then in her confessional, she says that this is definitely the kind of thing that Dennis likes. And that right here, y'all, was the shit of all shits. It's about to get even messier. I don't think it's okay to just drop accusations like that without knowing it for a fact. And especially if the person is not there. I don't know if her friend was just being messy. I don't want to believe that Portia probably fed them that information to get to Drew, but that was so unnecessary and uncalled for. And guys, this is how the episode ended. You guys, I need to know, what are your thoughts on this episode? Drop them down in the comments and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And guys, as always, I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.